All right, here he is, best player in the NBA, Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic. Is that like a Ukrainian accent? That's the best I can do, but here he is. He's the best player in the NBA, or he's not. It's not what the video is about so much, but Denver made some changes to the roster, and things are looking pretty good for Denver Nuggets fans next season and just NBA fans in general because Denver took OKC to 7 games last season in the playoffs. I'm not here to argue that if Denver was healthy, they would have beat OKC, this and that, but if they were healthy, it would have been a better series, and you can definitely make the argument that Denver has what it takes to beat OKC, and now with these tweaks they made in their roster, they should have a better chance, I suppose, in the series if they meet up again next season in the playoffs. It's just all about how healthy your team is, towards the end of the year. That's really what determines who's able to compete in the playoffs or not. Because no matter how good your team is, if you're not healthy, it's not really going to matter. And, every single championship run, you can go and say, oh, this team they were playing, their star player got injured, this player got injured, this team got this break here and that break there. When the Suns were playing the Spurs forever ago and Robert Ory hip checked Steve Nash and Stoudemire and some people got ejected or they got suspended. If you want to go to Kevin Durant tearing his Achilles in the Warriors finals, there's all sorts of stuff you can go to and just say, oh, this team, they have an asterisk on their championship because this player got hurt and that player got hurt. Players get hurt every single year. It's just going to happen. But here's Nikola Jokic. Denver Nuggets made some changes to their roster this season. They added Cam Johnson. They got Bruce Brown back on the roster. They signed Tim Hardaway Jr. I thought that was a really cool signing. And then they got Jonas Valanciunas as well. So I think it was a really good offseason for the Nuggets. I think they got a lot of things they needed, and I think they're set to compete for a championship again this season. They were set to compete for a championship just last season, but Aaron Gordon has his injury. Michael Porter Jr. has his bum shoulder, and they didn't have enough to beat the Thunder. Thunder are deserving champions. Again, I'm not going to say, oh, if this guy wasn't injured, this and that would have happened. Whatever happened, happened. It just is what it is. But they add those boys to the roster: Cam Johnson, Valanciunas, Tim Hardaway Jr., and Bruce Brown, who they used to have on the roster. I think in 23 when they won, they had Bruce Brown, so they get back NBA champion Bruce Brown. They lose Michael Porter Jr. He only had one arm in the playoff series last season. I like Michael Porter Jr. a lot. I think he's a really good player, but they add Cam Johnson for Michael Porter Jr. I think Cam Johnson, maybe you could say Porter Jr. is a better three-point shooter. They're right about even, but I think Cam Johnson is just a better overall scorer. He's a better ball handler. The one thing I could give to Michael Porter Jr. is Porter Jr. is probably a better rebounder than Cam Johnson. You might say Porter Jr. is a bit of a better defender. He is 6'10", where Cam Johnson's only 6'8", but Cam Johnson's going to come in, give you solid defense. He averaged 19 points per game last season. He was shooting 48% from the field, 39% from three. He was taking 7 attempts, so that's just great. Jokic can never have too many three-point shooters around him. And again, Cam Johnson's 6'8". He's not some defensive stalwart, but he's going to be just fine defensively. No one's going to be trying to get a switch and attack Cam Johnson on a mismatch or anything like that. So Cam Johnson's really big. I think that's their biggest addition. Just going to be a great fit next to Jokic. He's a guy you can have on the court during the non-Jokic minutes. He can create his own shot and do some stuff, to help the team out when Jokic is not in there. And then he's just a knockdown three-point shooter, 39% from three. I think he's just a better player than Michael Porter Jr., and he's definitely a better player than Michael Porter Jr. with only one arm like he was last playoff. So they upgrade at the small forward position with Cam Johnson there. Bring back Tim Hardaway Jr. Hardaway 37% from three. He was taking 6 threes last season, so just another really good knockdown shooter. Tim Hardaway, I think he's 6'6" or so. He's an okay defender, but again, not some defensive liability where people are going to be trying to get a switch with Tim Hardaway Jr. and attack him off of a mismatch. So you add Cam Johnson, you add Tim Hardaway Jr., just two really good shooters that are really going to help out, space the floor for Jokic, and they're going to fit right into the Nuggets system. They add Bruce Brown back onto the team as well. Not some crazy addition, I don't think, but Bruce Brown, just a good utility guy. pretty solid defender, just a high IQ basketball player. There's not going to be a lot of times in the season, not going to happen really in playoff games either, where you say, oh, what the fuck was that, Bruce Brown? Like, that was a dumbass play. That was a dumbass shot. What are you doing out there? He's a veteran player. He's going to make smart decisions on the court. He's played in Denver before. He's played with Jokic before. They're going to plug him in. He's going to know the deal. He's going to be just fine out there. Second biggest addition, I think, will be Jonas Valanciunas. When Jokic would come off the court last season, everything would just go to shit. They had no other big man to really help out and do. You can't fill Jokic's shoes, but just do some of the things Jokic does. Just play a little bit of post defense, set some hard screens. That's really all they needed, and they got that in Jonas Valanciunas. I think he's 33 years old now, so he's a bit of an older man out there, but he averaged 10 points and 8 rebounds just last season. He's a big body down there. If you need to guard some big-ass post presence like a Joel Embiid, I know he's on the Sixers. They're not going to run into the Sixers in the finals, but Alfred Şengün, Domantas Sabonis, Victor Wembanyama, Valanciunas, he's that guy that can go out there. He can bang in the post. He can play one-on-one post defense, and it's not like, some big old center is going to come in and just knock Valanciunas off of his spot. He's going to do some good rebounding for your team as well. And again, just a smart player. He's not going to take really any dumb shots or make dumb decisions out there where you're going to be thinking, man, what the fuck are you doing out there, Jonas Valanciunas? He's a veteran player, high basketball IQ guy. And all that stuff being said, all Denver needs is just some players just to keep Denver's head above water in the non-Jokic minutes, because when Jokic is on the court, he was plus 8.5 as plus minus, plus 8.5 points last season, and that was on 70 games. So just the plus minus god. He's kind of always been the plus minus god. He was number 2 last season. You can guess who number 1 was. It was SGA. SGA's plus minus was just fucking stupid. He was plus 12 per game on 76 games. So just ridiculous. Shea's an incredible player. I still think Jokic is the best player in the NBA, but Shea had the plus 12 last season, which is just stupid. With that being said, though, there were 6 Thunder players in the top 20 of plus minus. It was SGA, Isaiah Joe, Dort, Aaron Wiggins, J-Dub, Isaiah Hartenstein. So they had 6 different players in the top 20 of plus minus. SGA was number 1, of course, so he is the the head of the offense. He makes the machine go as far as OKC's offense goes, but OKC was just a historically great team, historically great defense. And not to throw any shade on SGA, I like SGA, but I feel like Jokic is still the true plus minus god, even though we finished number 2 last season to SGA. But all the stuff I said, they add Jonas Valanciunas and Tim Hardaway and Cam Johnson, got Bruce Brown Jr. back as well. All that stuff kind of doesn't even matter. They just need some people that can keep the head above water for the Denver Nuggets, because as long as Jokic is out there, you're going to be plus 8.5 points on the team again. Plus 8.5 was his plus minus for last season. That was in 70 games. So as long as Jokic is on the court, you're all good. Last season when Jokic came off the court, it was minus 10. So whatever rotation, whatever players you have in there, it was minus 10 from that plus 8.5 points when Jokic was on the court. So let's say these guys are minus 8, they're minus 7 now when Jokic is on the court. It's still a plus from what was happening last season with those players being minus 10 without Jokic on the court. That's not so much to shit on Jokic's teammates. It's to say that Jokic doesn't have enough help. So, you can say he needs some more help. But the reason those players are so negative is usually because Jokic is just so amazing when he's on the court. He just is the offensive engine. He makes so much happen. So when he comes off the court, things do drop down a bit. But the minus 10 for his bench unit is really bad. But now, adding Cam Johnson, I think Cam Johnson is going to be amazing. Fit right in with this Denver Nuggets group. When Jokic would come off the court in the playoffs last season, I feel like what they were missing the most was just that big center, big bruiser style player who can just kind of man things down low, play that post defense. They were really lacking rebounding. The Nuggets were last season. So now you add Jonas Valanciunas. He's going to do all that dirty work type of stuff. He knows exactly what he's there for. He's a veteran. So I feel like that was their biggest hole, just not having a big bruising style center to come in behind Jokic and help out with the rebounding, post defense. Jonas Valanciunas can still get into the post and throw you a little baby hook. He's not going to miss a lot of easy shots at the rim. He has really good hands. He can run a decent pick and roll as well. And I think Jonas Valanciunas is going to be really great for them. Also, Cam Johnson is an upgrade from Michael Porter Jr. Not to hate on Porter Jr., I think Porter Jr. is great. But like I said before, just a better player than a healthy Porter Jr., and he's definitely a better player than Michael Porter Jr. with, was it a rotator cuff? Whatever it was wrong with his shoulder. Man was playing with one arm during the playoffs last season. So just a bunch of awesome additions for the Denver Nuggets. Again, if they were healthy last season, they would have had a really solid chance to beat the Thunder. They still had a solid chance, even being injured and banged up. So, going to next season, if Denver can make it into the playoffs healthy, they always have a chance to win a championship. As long as Nikola Jokic is on your team, you could surround him with a bunch of middle schoolers. He's probably still going to be +5 as long as he's on the court. So it's just the non-Jokic minutes. That was the big problem. That's always been the big problem for the Nuggets, is just those non-Jokic minutes. But now you can rock with Cam Johnson. Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to be knocking down threes. Bruce Brown's going to be doing those great utility guy things that he does. Jonas Valanciunas is going to be doing his big bruiser stuff down low. Jamal Murray always steps up in the playoffs, so Jamal Murray already knows what's going on. He's going to teach these guys the system, and I think Jamal Murray is still going to be great come playoff time because he usually is. And just really excited for the Denver Nuggets. I think they made a lot of great moves with these additions that they made, and again, the main thing is just them coming into the playoffs healthy and just still having the Joker on their team. They're going to have the Joker on their team. As long as you have this man on your team, he's going to be riding horses. He'll get his Siberian brothers to kick your ass if you're talking shit, and he's going to give you a chance to win the NBA championship as long as you have a healthy Jokic on your team. So I'm really excited for the Nuggets. Still think OKC is the best team in the Western Conference, just the best team in the entire NBA. Just if you want to go guy for guy, go across their entire roster, just the best defense in the NBA and the best overall team. But I feel like Denver is right there. I'll put them below OKC as an overall team. But when you have Jokic on your team, if the Nuggets ran into the Thunder in the playoffs, I would favor the Nuggets right now if they were a healthy team, just because Jokic is that much of a floor raiser, that much of a ceiling raiser. But I'll still have Thunder as my favorite team to win the title, as the best team right now. But if they run into the Nuggets, I would favor the Nuggets in the playoffs, especially with these additions they made. But really excited for the season to get started. Really excited to see how Denver looks out there with these additions. Please like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 60 subscribers. Please comment below what you think about Denver's additions, and if you think they're the best team in the NBA, or if you still have them behind the Oklahoma City Thunder. Because again, I still have the Thunder as the best team in the NBA, but I wouldn't take anyone over Denver in a playoff series just because I believe in Joker that much. Please like and subscribe. Peace.